Button. Let's start with the most common mushroom in the world, the button mushroom. If you've ever eaten pizza, pasta, or even a burger, there's a very high chance you've already eaten this one. Button mushrooms are small, white, and soft. They have a very mild taste, almost neutral, which makes them perfect for mixing with other foods without overpowering them. But here's something most people don't know. The button mushroom is actually just the young stage of a bigger mushroom family. If you let it grow longer, it transforms into something else completely, which we'll talk about next. Because of its simple taste and easy availability, button mushrooms are one of the cheapest and most widely used mushrooms in the world. They are grown in controlled environments, which means you can find them almost all year round in supermarkets everywhere. Cremini. Now let's move one step ahead, the Cremini mushroom. Cremini mushrooms are basically the teenage version of button mushrooms. They are slightly older, which gives them a darker brown color and a stronger, earthier flavor. Compared to button mushrooms, Cremini mushrooms taste richer and more intense. That's why chefs prefer them in soups, gravies, and meat dishes. If button mushrooms are mild and simple, Cremini mushrooms are bold and flavorful. Interestingly, many people don't even realize that button, Cremini, and Portobello mushrooms are actually the same species, just at different stages of growth. Nature is basically upgrading the same mushroom over time. Portobello. Now we reach the final stage of this mushroom family, the Portobello mushroom. This is what happens when a Cremini mushroom is allowed to fully mature. Portobello mushrooms are large, thick, and very meaty in texture. In fact, they are so dense that many vegetarians use them as a replacement for beef patties in burgers. When cooked, they develop a smoky, juicy flavor that feels surprisingly close to meat. That's why in many restaurants, you'll find Portobello mushroom burgers as a vegetarian alternative. But here's the interesting part. Even though it looks like a giant mushroom, it is still the same species as the tiny button mushroom you saw earlier. Just imagine one organism, three completely different identities depending on its age. Shiitake. Now let's move to something more exotic, the Shiitake mushroom. Shiitake mushrooms originally come from East Asia, especially Japan and China, and they have been used in cooking and traditional medicine for centuries. Unlike button mushrooms, Shiitake mushrooms have a very strong, smoky, and slightly garlic-like flavor. They are commonly used in ramen, stir-fried dishes, and soups. But Shiitake mushrooms are not just about taste. They are also considered extremely healthy. They contain compounds that may help support the immune system and overall health. Because of this, Shiitake mushrooms are often called a superfood mushroom. They are a perfect example of how food can be both delicious and powerful at the same time. Oyster. Next up is the oyster mushroom. If you look at it, you'll immediately understand why it's called an oyster mushroom. Its shape looks like a cluster of oysters growing together. Oyster mushrooms grow very fast in nature and are one of the easiest mushrooms to cultivate. When cooked, they become soft, silky, and slightly chewy. Some people even say they have a mild seafood-like flavor, which is why they are often used in vegan seafood dishes. Oyster mushrooms are also very flexible in cooking. You can fry them, grill them, or add them to soups and noodles. They are simple, fast-growing, and surprisingly tasty. Enoki. Now let's talk about something completely different, the Enoki mushroom. At first glance, you might not even recognize it as a mushroom. Enoki mushrooms are long, thin, and look almost like white noodles or tiny sticks growing in a bundle. They have a very mild taste but a unique crunchy texture, especially when lightly cooked. Enoki mushrooms are extremely popular in Korean and Japanese cuisine, especially in hot pots and soups. What makes them special is their texture rather than their flavor. They absorb the taste of whatever they are cooked in, making them perfect for broths and spicy dishes. Morel. Now we enter the luxury category, the Morel Mushroom. Morel mushrooms are one of the most expensive edible mushrooms in the world. Unlike other mushrooms, they have a honeycomb-like structure and a very unique nutty flavor. But here's the problem. Morel mushrooms are extremely difficult to farm commercially. Most of them are found in wild forests, which makes them rare and expensive. Because of their rarity and taste, they are often used in high-end gourmet restaurants. Some chefs even consider them a seasonal treasure. Finding morel mushrooms is almost like hunting hidden gold in the forest. Death cap. Now we come to the most dangerous mushroom in the world, the death cap mushroom. This mushroom may look completely harmless, even similar to edible mushrooms, but it is extremely toxic. Just a small amount can cause severe liver damage and can even be fatal. What makes it even more dangerous is that it often grows near edible mushrooms, making it very easy to mistake. Many poisoning cases in history have been linked to this one mushroom alone. This is why experts always warn, never eat wild mushrooms unless you are 100% sure about them. Because sometimes, nature hides danger in the most innocent-looking forms. So these were 8 different mushrooms explained, from the common button mushroom to the deadly death cap. Each one is completely different in taste, texture, price, and even danger level. It's fascinating how something so small can have so many forms and identities in nature. Now I want to ask you, which mushroom surprised you the most today? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because on this channel, we explore the hidden stories behind the food you eat every day. See you in the next one.